Welcome to the Biochemistry Academy, where we present information in the simplest way for anyone to understand. Well, in today's video, we'll talk about micelles. Now, what are micelles? Micelles are spherical or cylindrical aggregates that are formed by amphipathic molecule dispersed in a liquid phase, which they form a colloid. Now we'll talk about this aggregate. Aggregate means different fragments that are combined together. Then we will now talk about a colloid. A colloid is simply a substance in which microscopic particles are dispersed in a medium but are not dissolved in it. An example of a colloid is like the gels and the soils. Well, these micelles, they have a hydrophobic region and they also have a hydrophilic region. Now, these micelles are similar to cellular membrane as both structure consist of phospholipids. Because of this similarity now, it allows micelles to be incorporated into the cellular membrane or even cross them in the human body. Now, when we check the structure of the micelles, we can see that spherical shape or that cylindrical shape. Now, those aggregates are those micelles. Now, these micelles, we say they have a hydrophilic region. Now, this hydrophilic region, they interact with water. And now, when we check the tails, which are the hydrophobic region, they cluster together and they minimize contact with water, meaning that they do not like water. Now, let's talk about the properties of micelles. Now, micelles are a dynamic structure. Now, the structure, they constantly form and they are constantly also dissociating. That is what makes them a dynamic structure. Now, another property of the micelles is that their size can vary depending on the concentration and the type of the amphipathic molecules. Now, the hydrophilic shell stabilizes the micelles and keeps them dispersed in the solution. Now, let us talk about the application of these micelles. Now, micelles are applied in emulsification in food industry. When we talk about emulsification, we simply means emulsification is a process of dispersing two or more immiscible liquids together to form a semi-stable mixture. Now, emulsifiers are added to processed food like mayonnaise, ice cream, chocolate, peanut butters, margarine, and also baked foods. Now, these are used to prevent the separation of the oil and the water components. Now, because of this, it gives the food a smooth texture and increase their shelf life. Now, another application of these micelles is applied in drug delivery by encapsulating the hydrophobic drug. And now, it's also applied in biochemical application. They are used to stabilize enzyme and cell membrane. And micelles are also applied in detergency. Now, because the hydrophobic core can be used to trap oily dirt, which then can be whisked away. Now, let's talk about these examples of micelles. Soap micelles in water and also liposomes in biological system. Micelles are formed naturally during the process of digestion and in the absorption of fats in the small intestine. The monoglyceride and the fatty acid associate with bile salts and phospholipids to form micelles. Now, micelles are necessary because they transport the polysoluble monoglyceride and fatty acid to the surface of the enterocytes where they can be absorbed. Additionally, Micelles contain fat-soluble vitamins and cholesterol, which are also important for the body. Now, in our next video, we will talk about liposomes. Please, if this video has helped you, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that more content can be created.